Midweek madness is upon us. Another round of fixtures to get through this week. Kawasaki still leading the league, but just by a slender point as the title race continues to thrill with the chasing pack keeping the heat on. This is the J1 League Goal Zone. Kashima welcomed Sagan to the fold, while Frontale took on 17th placed Shonan in the Kanagawa derby. Vissel played Jubilo in Kobe, and the Marinos were at home to face Kyoto. Kashima continued their solid run of form. A point against Urawa most recently meant they just lost once in their last 6. Sagan came into this one with no wins and no goals from their last 2, but would be counting on their stout defence to shut out the Antlers. But for the first 50 minutes of this game, Sagan's defence didn't seem particularly relevant. Here they are with a 31st minute corner, and Masaya Tashiro runs into the space at the near post to glance in the opening goal. And it was only 7 minutes before they got a second. A superb run down the left-hand side by Kei Koizumi. He finds Taisei Miyashiro, who needs 2 attempts to get the ball over the line, but eventually does so. And Tosu managed to start the second half the way they'd left the first. Putting pressure on, Koizumi unleashes from the edge of the box, and that's in off the underside of the crossbar. But just when this looked like a stroll in the park for the visitors, things started to turn around. Some 52nd minute strength on the ball in midfield from Diego Pituca. He sends it right to Ryuji Izumi. His cross looked like it had gone behind everyone, but Yuta Higuchi pulled himself back and salvaged some pride for the home team. 3-1 now. 68th minute, and the captain Yuma Suzuki checks back to supply Ayase Ueda, and suddenly Kashima are just a goal behind. But things stayed that way until the 92nd minute. Juan Alano sending the ball into the box, Suzuki again the provider, picking out Shomodoi, who makes it 3-3. What a comeback for the Antlers, but they weren't done yet. Arthur Kaika sends the ball back into the box, where Etsuki Someno bravely heads the ball past the goalkeeper, and Kashima have a 94th minute lead. But would the home fans' excitement see them through the 6+ minutes of time added on for stoppages? This corner was Tosu's final chance to make something of the game. In the 97th minute, Kwon Sun-tae in goal parries the in-swinging corner, and Tashiro with a last gasp equaliser, the climax to a remarkable game that ends 4-4. Kawasaki's 4-game winning streak was ended by Tosu over the weekend in a goalless affair, a 5th clean sheet for the champions, and despite Shonan coming into this one with a win under their belt, the hosts would be fancied to get back onto the winning trail. Shazad Haq has your commentary.
That's a good position here. Tanakel Yunusi miskicked it, and that really ought to have been 1-0. Lovely down that right-hand side. Oh, it's got its way in. Did Jung Seung-ryong seem to let that go? Did he think that was going wide? Just seemed to pull out of that, didn't he? This is going to be a good view of Jung Seung-ryong. Maybe he didn't think he was going to get there. It's the simple truth. Ishihara. Oh, that is goal number 2! An absolutely free header. And they are in dreamland at the moment. It's far too easy. And that is a great header that he's guided in. Now they come steaming forward. 3 against 1 at the moment. They've got the overlap and they've got the 3rd goal. Well, they are all over the place at the moment. Kawasaki Frontale and Shonan Bellmare are in absolute dreamland at the moment. Committed so many bodies forward. That's poor from Joao Schmidt. They had 4 against 1 here. It's a fine finish for Shuto, who's living up to his name there and shoots magnificently. It's pretty clear Shonan would look like the team that's leading the J-League at the moment, when the reality is far from it. But this is absolutely brilliant. Could there be a 4th one here? Yes, they can! Tariq El-Yunusi! What is going on? And Tariq El-Yunusi, he should have scored in the first half. He makes no mistake. This is a much harder chance. A great pass to him. And they are absolutely cruising here. Good ball over the top for Ten Miyagi. Oh, he's done well there, but it's just tipped over by Kosetani. He doesn't need to carry on. That is a tremendous result. After 6 defeats and 4 draws, they've finally done it, and they've done it in style here. The final score, the Todoroki Stadium, it's Kawasaki Frontale, league leaders, against second from bottom, Shonan Mamare, who have won this 4-0.
3 games without a win now, and that meant Shimizu had won only once in their last 12. A chance to get back on track as an out-of-sorts Tokyo side came to town, with the visitors on a 4-game winless run. First chance of the game fell to Tokyo. Kuryu Matsuki with the early effort from 25 yards, and the goalkeeper quite fortunate to see it deflect off the post and out for a goal kick. Looking to break out of their slump, Shimizu had a decent chance in the 20th minute. Rion Yamahara with the cross, Thiago Santana stretches and does well to even hit the post. But just before half-time, Tokyo were on the attack again. Ryoma Watanabe from outside the box. Shuichi Gonda manages to keep it out, but Ryoya Ogawa is hanging around to put the ball away for the opening goal. Tokyo's second goal was all about a superhuman effort from Ogawa. There he is winning the ball on the left-hand side, and as the ball moves over to the right, eventually the cross comes in from Shuto Abe. An enormous leap from Ogawa, and that's 2-0. There was still some fight in the Shimizu players. Carlinhos Jr. whips in a cross, Santana heads the ball down, and despite the decision not to give a corner, the goalkeeper did get at least a couple of fingers to that one. But a clean sheet wouldn't be the only thing they were celebrating. Hotaka Nakamura's side-footed pass finding Shuto Abe in the 75th minute. A fine 3-0 away victory for FC Tokyo. A big derby win for Cerezo over the weekend, and that's 2 wins out of 3, and another success could see them move into the top 5. Standing in their way though, Urawa, who played out their 7th draw in a row and would certainly prove difficult to beat. Midway through the first half, and a disastrous clearance from goalkeeper Kim Jin-hyun led to what looked like the first goal of the game. But there were a couple of things for VAR to look into here. Firstly, Yoshio Koizumi, who put the ball into the net, had initially controlled the ball with his arm before supplying Kasper Juncker for the 1-2. But crucially, Juncker was clearly offside when the ball was played to him, and for a combination of those reasons, the goal was disallowed. 2 minutes later, and Urawa were looking to make amends. Koizumi with the cross from the right, and Alex Schulk might have thought about hitting this first time. Instead, he took a touch and dribbled the ball towards the far post. 0-0 the score at half-time. Fast forward to the 62nd minute, Ryosuke Yamanaka with the cross. Yuta Miyamoto looked like he got a deflection on it, but VAR highlighted that he used his hands to do just that, albeit after the ball had taken a deflection off his knee at close quarters. The referee pointed to the spot, and Hiroshi Kiyotake sent Shusaku Nishikawa the wrong way. Looking for a second, 9 minutes later, Hirotaka Tameda got on the end of a long cross, headed the ball down and over the crossbar. But with a minute left of regulation time, they would strike again. Receiving the ball from a deep position, Mutsuki Kato lays the ball off to Seiya Maikuma, who with the attention of a defender behind him and an on-rushing goalkeeper, finishes very smartly for 2-0. They might even have scored a third 4 minutes later when the ball was pulled back for Maikuma, but Nishikawa caught this one at the second attempt. And Cerezo continue their good run of form. First loss in 9 for Urawa, and they slide a spot down the table. After the break, another bottom of the table side trying to turn their fortunes around. Stay with us. You're watching the J1 League Goal Zone. We hope you're enjoying all of these spectacular goals from Matchweek 15. If you want more, well, we've got it for you. A 7-goal bonanza coming your way. But first, a quick stopover in Kobe. Vissel remained rooted to the foot of the table after losing for the 6th time in 7 games and having only won once all season. Their opponents had lost 3 of their last 4, but Jubilo would be hoping to compound Kobe's misery, and both teams were likely to throw the kitchen sink and try to claim a rare win. Here's Glenn Mascarenas.
Well, almost a way through. That's a double and a triple attack, I'd say. Unfortunately, defended Ryo Kikuchi with a dual effort. Well, denied by Ryuki Miura. Well, that one just sailed in, and here's Kikuchi, went straight for the kill, tried a second time around, was kept away, and then, of course, no way through for Yoshinari Muto either. Here's Gotoku Sakai. He's got the pace factor, still very much with it. He's got to look for his man. Decides to send it across to Muto. Oh, lovely strike there, but that will be defended. Taya Maikawa will be extremely envious of that save by Ryuki Miura. Miura keeping Shion Inui at bay. Here's Iniesta tapping in, and that's a second shot on goal, and he'll be denied again by Miura. But what an effort coming in from Koya Yuruki. Yuruki with that left foot. Yuki Otsu, and this could all break down, but Lincoln, what a miss! What an absolute miss! Well, he was definitely obstructed there. There's no doubt about it. So trying to split things up here to Lincoln. Now Leo Saki. He's got it to Muto. Muto with the back pass, and Iniesta! Boss the away post. What a flash there from Andres Iniesta. At full time, the home team Vissel Kobe did enjoy a lion's share of not just possession but shots on goal. Just very unfortunate for Latina and his band of merry men that they failed to find the target, and it's a win that should have been Vissel's, and they will only have themselves to blame for dropping points.
Consadole came into this one with just a single loss in their last 7 and would be confident of another positive result against Kashima. The visitors hadn't won in their last 3 and would be in desperate need of some points if they wanted to keep pace at the top. But before a shot could be fired in anger, anger expressed itself in another form. Akito Fukumori given a straight red card for a challenge that clearly wasn't an attempt on the ball. 84 minutes then for Kashima to take advantage of playing against 10 men, and they did just that. First on the 15-minute mark, Yuji Takahashi firing a ball through a crowded penalty box for the opening strike of the game. 11 minutes later, and they were 2 up. Takuma Ominami skipping over a challenge, centering the ball for Mao Hosoya, and the game already looks beyond Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo. But the score stayed that way through the half-time break. That was until the 54th minute when Tomoya Koyamatsu collected the ball, laid it off for Matteo Savio to run on through to the goalkeeper, and that's 3-0. Moments later, it was 4. Koyamatsu in a tight space, but showing the confidence to take his time. And after a couple of touches, puts that beyond the goalkeeper Kojiro Nakano, and that's 4-0. Things clearly weren't about to get much better for Hokkaido. Here in the 67th minute, Keito Mori was brought down in the box by a clumsy challenge. The referee pointed to the spot, and Mori dispatches this one past Nakano. Now it's 5-0. The goal of the match was probably this one in the 71st minute. Mori bursting down the left-hand side and looking for all the world as if he was going to use the support in the middle. In the end, he had a shot on goal himself and whipped a curling shot past the goalkeeper's hand towards the far post. 6-0 down with 16 minutes to play and nothing to play for. Consadole picked out a decent goal of their own. Ryota Aoki, giving the home fans something positive to remember of the day. And they would also avoid the embarrassment of having conceded 7 goals. Yugo Matsukake on his way through finishes smartly, but VAR made it quite clear that he was in an offside position and the ball was played forward. This one was disallowed, but still a convincing 6-1 away win for Kashima Reysol. A shock defeat at the hands of Avispa over the weekend ended Yokohama's 4-game unbeaten streak. A chance to bounce back then against Kyoto. The visitors with no wins in 5, while the Marinos were unbeaten at home in 9. Rish Roshan Rai has your commentary.
Kagawa sends it in. Good header away. Only as far out as to Kida. He's forced a good save from Tomoya Wakahara. Okay, that's a lovely ball. Great first touch from Miyaichi to take it away from Shirai before unleashing a shot. Nagoya pings out another beautiful pass straight into the feet of Nakagawa, who can receive and turn. It's a 2-on-1 situation down the right-hand side. Instead, he goes to Seara. Another shot from just outside the box. It's been a long road back to the top. And this is the kind of quality they're up against, says Seara whips one in from the left-hand side. Picked up by Nakagawa. Stuck a leg out, the goalkeeper. Fell straight into the path of Kota Watanabe. Watanabe. Space to whip it in. It's a lovely touch into Nakagawa. Wonderful defending. Great challenge from Rikito Inoue. Again, another beautiful ball played in behind for Nakagawa. Has got this pace and the pace to try and they've shown wonderful quality in possession. Generally controlled the game. Haven't allowed Kyoto Sanga many opportunities at all on the counter-attack. Carve out one here late on this first half. Koike's got space to have a shot, and he's found the opener, Ryuta Koike. It has been coming. It just needed some quality with the finish. Now just have a look at his position here on the inside of Miyaichi. Koike is invited to get forward again. There's acres of space, so much time for him to essentially pick his spot. It's another huge header from Eduardo, and he's found Seara, who's worked hard to keep a hold of the ball for releasing Nakagawa. Seara. That's a delightful pass out to Mitsunuma, his first involvement in the game. And it involves a shot. They're under a bit of pressure here, Takaoka. Oh, he's given it away this time. The chance for the equalizer. Plenty of bodies in front of him. Daiki Kaneko, it was with that shot in the end. Stretching the pitch for playing it infield to Nishimura. Kida onto Miyaichi. Matsubara, it's taken a deflection! And it's ended up in goal for the Marinos, and Ken Matsubara gets his first of the season. They have been the better of these two sides. They've kept plugging away. Wonderful quality in attack. On this occasion, a big stroke of good fortune. It comes off Shohei Takeda. Seara just hobbling around. We won't have to do that for much longer. And it's a well-deserved 3 points for the Yokohama Marinos. That's confirmation of your final scoreline. Yokohama Marinos 2, Kyoto Sanga 0.
Nagoya made it back-to-back victories after beating Shimizu previously and would be looking to make it 3 against Avispa. The visitors had been inconsistent on the road, but they arrived on the back of a good run of form, most recently recording a win over Yokohama. Ollie Hogben has your commentary.
Could be a particularly nasty in-swinger this from the Brazilian, who's provided assists in the last 3 J1 games, and it is flicked on, flicked in, and he's provided 4 assists. Mateus just keeps providing. It was exactly the sort of free kick. It may be that nobody touched that. It may be that it was Nakatani. Just keep an eye on number 4, Shinosuke Nakatani. That's his goal. Flicked on by Lukian. It's surely going to be a foul. It's absolutely fouled by Thiago, there's no question of it. Oh, now this is interesting. That's a very out of control and dangerous challenge. He's endangering the safety of an opponent. It has to be a red card. And so, Nagoya Grampus are a player down, but a goal up. Tanaka has gone back to the left wing. And the cross is towards Wanda! And it will not count. Yes, clearly offside. Excellent officiating. They will win other games this season, but Nagoya Grampus will not work harder than that. That was an extraordinary effort. It finishes 1-0 to the home team at the Toyota Stadium on match day 15.
A look at the results for you then. 8 goals in Kashima, seeing the points shared between the Antlers and Tosu, while the battle in Kanagawa went Shonan's way in stunning fashion, 4-0 over Kawasaki. Tokyo picked up a good away win in Shizuoka, but Kashiwa stole the show with a 6-1 thumping of Consadole in Sapporo. A point for Kashima this week was enough to lift them past Frontale in the table for first place. 30 points for both clubs, and they're just separated by goal difference now. Yokohama stay in 3rd, with Kashiwa moving back into 4th on 24 points. Cerezo a point behind to round out the top 5. Nagoya, the big mover, into the top half of the table, taking 9th place. Kyoto and Urawa dropping further down after losses, with Jubilo the only side in the bottom half picking up a point and moving up a place. Big win for Shonan still sees them in 17th, but they're 1 victory away from moving off the drop zone, while Kobe remain in trouble as they continue to struggle to find their way out of last place. With that, it's time to wrap things up, and we hope you enjoyed the flurry of goals that we had for you. My name's Steve Dawson. We'll see you next time on the J1 League Goal Zone.